People say I'm no good, I'm crazy as a loon. I get stoned in the morning, I pop pills in the afternoon. Kinda like an old blue tip house, I like to lay around in the shade. I ain't got no money, but I know how to get laid, and I ain't asking nobody for nothing. I can't get it on my own. If you don't like the way I'm living now, you just leave this long-haired country boy alone. Preacher man talking on TV, putting down rock and roll. Wants me to send a donation cause he's worried about my soul. Said Jesus walked on water, and I believe that's true. Sometimes I think that preacher man ought to do a little walking too, 'cause I ain't asking nobody for nothing. I can't get it on my own. If you don't like the way I'm living now, you just leave this long-haired country boy alone. Listen to me now. A rich girl learns to marry and a poor boy drives a truck. A rich boy learns to rock and roll and a poor girl learns to fuck. A drunkard wants another drink of wine and a politician wants to vote. I don't want much of nothing at all, just give me another token. I ain't asking nobody for nothing. I can't get it on my own. You don't like the way I'm living now, you just leave this long-haired country boy alone. You don't like the way I'm living, you just leave this long-haired country boy alone. Hey, what's happening, everybody? Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Jake Johnson. This is Untethered Live from my phone. How's everybody doing? April, there you are. I've been looking everywhere for you. I heard you were in the hospital. Are you okay? Hey, Sasquatch, what's happening, brother? Good to see you. I need to remix a song. Well, remix a head on then. I remix songs all the time. Hey, I'm back and feeling better. Yes, thank God. I missed you too, man. I missed you too. Very much. I was worried to death about you. We even called a couple of times, but you never responded. So I sent message too. After much communication with the song creators, they've asked me to remix the song. What song? Hey, I'm here. Love. I'm doing so good. Excellent. Well, what was wrong? Obviously, it wasn't COVID. What's happening? I know I was healing. Well, I've been praying for you hard. But what exactly was the problem? Because I got several different stories. I don't know which is true. Nonetheless, I'm so glad you're on the mend and everything's okay. Kind of worrisome. Reality by Cog. Okay. Better known as Our Lives Online. I'll check it out. You know, I had cellulitis poisoning in my bloodstream. Well, that's not good. That's not good at all. What causes that? I know the term, but I don't know what causes it. Woof. That's almost MRSR. Mercer. Mercer's a staph bacteria. I think that's MRSA. MERSA. I think. I'm not real sure. I've had it before. I had a big lump under my arm. I had to get some super antibiotics, turn my skin purple, but got rid of it. A girl gave it to me. It's like a sexually transmitted disease, but it was MRSA. Either way, however you spell it, I don't want it again. But what caused cellulitis in your bloodstream, April? Oof. I've got a very big weekend, and my luck struck again this afternoon. I had a neighbor was losing digits to MRSA. That's not good. You sure he didn't have necrotitis fasciitis? That's what causes the limbs to fall off, or leprosy, bacteria, and much more. Thought it went to my heart, but it didn't. Thank God. Thank God. Yes, that could have been bad. Anyway, I got off work today. Got caught in the rain. Went up to town to get me some dinner, and the damn belt on my motorcycle snapped, left me stranded. I had to call a friend of mine to come pick me up with a trailer. That was fun. Now I've got a show Friday night and a wedding Friday afternoon that I have to perform, and I have no idea how I'm going to get there. It's going to be an interesting weekend for sure. And I got to work tomorrow, but I know how I'm getting there. Lovely days. Here's a song. Yes, I'm on medication, and I'm looking better, feeling better, and done. I'm done with the bad stuff. Good. I forgot how the song starts. Yeah, I got it. I pulled in Nazareth. I was feeling about half past dead. Had to find a place where I could lay my weary. Hey, listen, can you tell me where a man might find a bed? He looked and he smiled at me, and the door was all he said. Take a load off, Annie. Take a load free. Take a load off, Annie. Hey, won't you put the load right on me? Never go wrong with this song. Only thing is, it's too high for me to sing, so I'm skipping out. I've set up a game streaming and fixed my OBS sound problems. Excellent. What game are you streaming? Are you doing anything exciting? My phone's been off for a couple of days. That's why I wasn't here this weekend. I finally got it back on today. 5 minutes after I paid the bill, my motorcycle went down. So thank God I had my phone on, because I'd have been crap out of luck if I didn't have my phone. I would have been pushing that joker back home. So I'm glad of that. It's not something I like to just broadcast, but I'm being truthful. I love you guys. Well, you talking about the you know what? Well, there's nothing to worry about. Ain't nobody gonna hear it but me and him and anybody else that pops in. But I'll keep them straight. Don't worry about that. Be truthful. That's what I do. I just talk and say whatever happens. I was planning to build a social justice warrior utopia in Fallout 4. Oh, that's interesting. Trying to trap them all in the Matrix. I've been thinking about having a truthful conversation with a feminist. See if she could take it. I mean, laying it all out on the line. You know, one of those I want equal rights types. What are you ashamed of? And God has got me. Yes, he does. But what are you ashamed of? Being sick? Nothing to be ashamed of. Unless cellulitis is like a sexually transmitted disease or something, which it isn't. Stop. Cake. It's not something she's advertising. Stop, Jake. It's not something she's advertising. I'm not the one talking about it. I'm just responding to texts. Oh, it's something different. Oh, okay. Well, be not ashamed. Have no fear. God does have you, and that's a fact. And so do we, by the way. We got you back. You got nothing to worry about here. Sounds good. So, what you guys want to talk about? You want to have a brief respite before the end? The end is coming, you know. What is a brief respite before an end? A weekend. A week end is a play on words. Thank you, dear. You're awesome too. Ain't that pretty? I love this old guitar. It plays like a dream. I have been busting my hump the past couple of days. Went through about 850 shirts today. So how are you guys doing? That's what I'm doing. Getting caught in the rain and working on motorcycles. Trying in vain. And I can't think of anything that rhymes with motorcycles. You play it well, Jake. I love listening to you play. Thank you. I love playing for you. I wish I could sing better. I am getting stronger though. I've actually got to where I can sing if I down key everything and play it ridiculously low. But I still don't have any top end vocals. They're gone. I don't know if I'm ever going to get that strength back or not. I've been working on it hard as I can, but I get to a certain pitch and I just crack. There's just no top end in my voice. Can't find a roofing company willing to replace my roof, which sucks. That does suck. Well, if I wasn't in North Carolina, I'd come roof it for you, but I'm in North Carolina and it would cost a lot more to get me down there to do it. So, sorry. I would definitely do it for you, though, if I could. Everybody's booked until next year. Yep. Probably hoping against hope that prices will come down, because I can't imagine anybody's making any money out there as much as material costs right now. I don't think they can charge enough. I'd be booked up a year or two if I had to pay $100 for a piece of plywood. I'm going to find some Mexicans. They'll be done in a couple days. That's true. And they'll be a lot cheaper. I ain't gonna lie, I've hired them a couple times. They work hard, they work cheap, and the job's done when they're done. Matter of fact, I could use one on my floor. I was listening to some fusion jazz today from the 70s. It's pretty good. It'll be done right, too. They do work hard. Yes, they do. Yeah, I've never had any trouble out of Mexicans either, except for one. I fixed that, though. That's my imitation Guns N' Roses. Can't play it exactly because I get copyright striked, but I can fake it. Throw some notes in there that don't belong. You get the idea. I came on Friday night. I stayed for 35 minutes and not one person showed up, so I left. And then my phone got cut off Friday night, so I missed Saturday or Sunday and Monday. And here's Wednesday and I'm back. Didn't even miss Strange New Worlds. Came close though. Came close. It comes out tonight, I think. I'll have a look and see. Let's see. Did you? I'm sorry, man. Ain't nothing but a thing. Just one of those deals. Well, my boss had COVID last week, so I didn't work at all. So I had zero cash last week. And that just happened to be when my phone bill was due. So I had to let it get cut off and cut it back on this morning, or this afternoon, rather. But I got some work in this week, so that's good. And tomorrow, I'm going to work and use that money and order the part I need to fix my bike and have to wait till it gets here. Probably take about a week for it to get here. So all I got to do now is find a ride for this weekend, because I got stuff I got to do this weekend and they're counting on me to be there. So I got to be there. Damn, I'm sorry. I'm glad you're back on. Oh, yeah, it wasn't going to take very long. Pelosi's husband's DUI charges were dropped due to lack of evidence. What they do? Lose him? Because, I mean, he was the one that was drunk, right? They caught him drinking and driving. How do you lose that evidence? That's kind of funny, isn't it? Funny how that works. If it were you, you'd be in jail. But if you're married to Nancy Pelosi, imagine my shock here, right? Imagine my shock. Wow. Seems like these days, if you're a Democrat, you can get away with just about anything, including murder. I might give up the electric guitar and just play this acoustic guitar for the rest of my life. Like a day after day, I'm so confused. Listen to me playing this damn old song. Rhythm the sun, road is on. Ain't it a shame? Killing my brain. People free my soul. I wanna get lost in rock and roll and drift away. Give me the peoples, free my soul. I wanna get lost in rock and roll and drift away. Won't you take me away? Then my heart beats strong, and you know the music moves me. Ain't it a shame? Get on my brain, give the people to free my soul. I wanna get lost in your rock and roll and drift away. Give me the people to free my soul. I wanna get lost in your rock and roll and drift away. Won't you take me away? There's a little Dubby Gray for you. I like that song. It's a good one. I'm singing it with you. Good girl. That's a good song. I'm thinking about adding that to my set list. That one and one like when the night has come and the land is dark and the moon is the only light we'll see. the sky that we look upon should crumble and fall, and the mountain should crumble to the sea. I will cry, I won't cry, no, I won't shed a tear, just as long as you stand by me. Hey, where's Kevin at tonight? Stand by me, oh, stand by me, oh, stand now, oh, stand now, stand by me. Whenever you're in trouble, stand by me, oh, stand by me, stand by me, stand by me, stand by me. There you go. I don't know who does it, but I like it. It's like 5 people that do that song. Hey, Darlene, how are you? Welcome to the show. Good to see you. I missed you. I hadn't seen you in forever and a day and a half, but I'm glad you're here. I'll get him. Keep singing. Loving it. Yeah. I'm glad you guys are here. It's been a crazy day. It's been a great day, says April. How are you doing? How are you feeling? I was here over the weekend, but I couldn't find you. My phone was off. My boss had COVID last week, so he was in quarantine and I didn't get to work. So I had no money and my phone bill came due and I had to lose my phone for a couple of days. But it's back. I'm back. Everything's cool. Welcome to the world. My voice is getting stronger, but it ain't quite there yet. I'm still working on it. I'm having to learn how to sing all over again. My voice just ain't blowing like it used to. But if I down key everything crazy low, I can sing a few songs. So that's something. That's more than I could do a month ago. So I'm glad of that. I guess if I keep pushing, I'll eventually get to where I can do it again, but don't know. I did some things around the house, but I needed to move, you know. Yeah. That's weird. Why would my sister be calling me in the middle of the podcast? That's weird. Sorry you heard that. I'll have to call her back. Glad you're better, says April. I'm glad you're better too. All this sickness has got to end, folks. We got to get back to being normal again. I doubt that she's probably just calling to see if I got home okay, not thinking that I'm on the podcast right now. Because like I said, I went to town and broke down. I called her first, but she didn't have a trailer, so I called somebody else. That's the bad thing about riding a motorcycle. When you break down, you got to have friends who have trailers. Can't just call somebody for a ride. You got to call somebody for a ride and a trailer. I'm glad I got a couple of those. Probably. Tell her we love her. I will. I'll call her after the show. I ain't going to be on here too awful long. I just wanted to make sure everybody remembered me, knew I was here, and knew that I was back on schedule. And then I'm going to jump off schedule because I got a big weekend, but I'll be here Sunday. And we'll get the Bible study out of the way Sunday and Monday. Unfortunately, I have to take Friday off because I've got a wedding and a show that day. So I'll be busy with a suit on, clean shaven and all. Of course, we love you, Jake. Well, I love you too. And I appreciate the love. I already missed Sunday and Monday. I didn't want to miss Wednesday too. No. You're fine. I totally understood. I was just trying to find out something about what was going on. So I called and then I left a message or two. Nobody responded. So I figured either it was serious or somebody would call eventually and let us know what was going on. So Caucasian, did you leave us? Don't worry about a thing, you're all right. Ain't gonna bother me. I don't care if your feet are tongue tied and you lose all of your sleep. You could be bass backwards and lose all your hair. Just as long as you still love me, honey, I'm telling you, I don't care. Say, what about Kevin now? What I missed? Sorry, Jake. I thought you talked to Kevin or I would have called you. No, I didn't hear from anybody. But I did leave a message and let you know that we were thinking about you. Me and Missy called you and we were talking about you. I think it was Monday or Tuesday. I don't remember when exactly. I think it was Monday. Anyway, I'm glad you're home and everything's all right. And I got fire on my shirt. You see that? It's creepy. Ooh, scary. I like this shirt. For some reason, though, it smells like an old man. It's got like polo or something baked into it. It can't wash out. Thank y'all for loving me. I love you too. Well, we can't help but love you. You're part of the family, honey. Greener pastures. That's all we can work. That's all we can wish for. Greener pastures. It can't stay bad. It's got to get better eventually. Unless you're me. Then it's bad 24/7 because it's like a joke between me and God. He throws it to see how much I can take, and I take it because he's throwing it at me. Redneck girl likes to stay out all night long. She makes sweet rock and roll while she listens to a country song. Coyote howling down on the prairie. First comes love, and then you get married. And I pray that someday I will find me a redneck girl. Give me a redneck girl. Yeah, it's one of those. Great memories of dancing to that one. Oh, yeah. Listen, I'm a memory machine. That's what I do. I remember shit. And then I suddenly realize I can't remember shit. So, hey, you got the song anyway. You don't need the words. Kevin's tired, y'all. He had a long trial today. Poor baby. And he's been taking care of me. Bless his little pea picking heart. That's a good man. That's what he's supposed to be doing. Hey, Kev, what's happening, brother? Good to see you. Glad you're here. Hey, Kev, get some rest, says Darlene. Mm-hmm. Yep, I can remember all kinds of shit. Like, there's a blue moon over Tulsa. I hope that it's shining on you. Nights are getting colder in Calico County. There's a blue northern passing through. Remember that song? That's an old one. He is a great man, and I'm blessed, y'all. I believe that. He's been taking good care of April. I appreciate him. I appreciate it too. I do appreciate it. Forever, my darling. I forgot the words. Da, da, da. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Ba, da, da. Hearts and open book, having you to hold. Oh, da, 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 da. What is that song? That's it. Yeah, Johnny Ace. I knew it was in there somewhere. Just could not remember the name of that guy. That's a good song though. They don't make them like that anymore. I go way back. I've played some shit that came out of the 30s and out of the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. It don't matter. The problem is I know so many songs I can't remember the words to all of them. I remember the chords immediately. If I've ever played it once, I'll play it for the rest of my life. But the words, they just don't stick. After about 5,000 songs, it's kind of hard to keep them in your head, you know? Got to learn the words, Jake. It's a great song. Why do I got to learn the words? You learn the words. As you just saw, I played the song. You knew the song. You enjoyed the song. I don't see where I need the words. No, I get it. It's just that after a while your brain starts deleting shit you're not using, you know what I mean? And hey Diego, what's happening, buddy? Good to see you. Night Kev, thanks for dropping by. Haven't been here very often. I see that. We've been missing you. Yes, that is me playing two guitar parts at one time. You know that song, don't you? Good to see ya. Nashville, how was your trip, babe? God and family is my life. It should be. Yep, Pretty Woman, that was it. MVTV, what's happening, buddy? Good to see you. We're just jamming and talking chit chat. You got the cabin? All right. That is false advertising. Ended up being the family homestead ranch. All to myself. Stunned. Excellent. Well, I'm glad you got it. And I'm glad you're going to be able to do something with it. $500 to check it out. Now supplying up and prepping to run with the cats. Thanks, Jake and April. Well, you're certainly welcome. Maybe one day we'll get out there to visit you. Today is my birthday. Happy birthday, Diego. Happy birthday, Diego. Happy birthday, Diego. Happy birthday to you. May you get some tonight. May you get some tonight. May you get some tonight. And by some, I mean birthday cake, you perverts. Happy birthday to you. And many more. Happy birthday, buddy. Happy 22. That's got to be worth something, ain't it? you could drink a year ago. So there's that. Howdy. Today is my grandson's birthday. Also, he's 6. Yay. And happy birthday, Diego, says Darlene. If I'd have known that, I'd have prepared a birthday cake or something to put in the background for you. But happy birthday. Hope you got everything you was looking for. My birthday's in December. 22. Wowee, I miss those days. Yeah. I don't know if I miss those days, but I miss being that young. I don't think I like those days too much, but I wish I could be that young again. Me too, says Darlene. You bet. If I was that young, I'd have all kinds of energy. When I was strong and pretty. Well, I ain't never been pretty. You see, when you're ugly, you gotta be twice as cool. That's why I'm Mr. Personality. Yep, I would have made a video for you too if I wouldn't forget next year. Or I won't forget next year. Yeah. Comparatively speaking, the masks worked for me. You mean to cover up all the ugly? They worked for me too. They stayed in the little package and I never put them on my face. Their masks all right. I'm still alive, so all good. Yep, I'm still alive too. I'm sure you're pretty, MVTV. Now hold on there, young lady. Don't go making promises you can't keep. He might whip out a picture or something. Shock us all. Whoa. Is that a seal wrestling a football? What is that? Sigh. I admit now that Avatar is not a self-portrait. I can't even see the avatar. It's on my phone, so it just looks like a little dot with some white in it. I have no idea what that is. I can barely read the text. Oh, eyesight ain't what it used to be. And when it was good, I couldn't see. So, now I'm just blind as a bat. I've been watching a lot of great YouTube movies, y'all. I don't so much watch the movies on YouTube, but I watch a few of the creators. I watch people that review movies. That's one thing I enjoy. I go to sleep listening to them talk about movies. I like the ones that go in depth and talk about the, subtext and the behind the scenes stuff and go into detail about movie making and all that good stuff. Not so much the reviews, but, just talking about movies in general is one of my favorite things. And yes, I watch Critical Drinker. He's one of my favorites. Go away now. I like Robert Meyer Burnett, Critical Drinker, Nerdrotic. Let's see who else. I watch TBR Schmidt. Molly and the Old Man. And can't think anymore. Never seen that one. We'll look it up. Elvis the Alien. Huh? I haven't watched Elvis the Alien. I have to check that one out. You got to see The Man in the Iron Mask. It's awesome. I saw it when it came out. I guess it was about 94, 95, somewhere around there when it came out. 92, something like that. I don't remember exactly when, but I saw it. Yeah, I know who it is. Yeah, Leonardo DiCaprio. Yep. Yep. I tell you, a movie that was vastly overrated when it came out was the movie Zorro with Antonio Banderas and Anthony Hopkins. There were so many good movies that year that when that movie came out, we just kind of overlooked it. It wasn't no big deal. But if you compare it to movies of today and go back and watch that movie's like a masterpiece compared to the crap that's coming out today. It's like a diamond in the rough. Never have, but on the list now. Thanks. You're welcome. Where have you been, Diego? He said earlier he's been in Tennessee with his family. Oh my God, Jake, you are absolutely in my mind. I'm good like that. I just read the text and respond. I don't know what I'm doing half the time. But I tell you what, though, the times we've talked about movies on here, I've really enjoyed that. I watched that Zorro yesterday. Wow, it was epic. Yes, compared to the movies that are out today, I mean, when it came out, it was just another movie. I remember when it came out, and I didn't particularly care for it. I didn't appreciate what it was, you know, because there were so many good movies that year that it didn't hardly make a blip on the radar. But as compared to what's coming out now, if you go back and watch Zorro, it's like a masterpiece. It really is. There's a lot to that movie. It's very good, very well made, and very pretty. I mean, the cinematography is great in that movie. Catherine Zeta-Jones could ask me to step into traffic, and I would do so with a smile. Well, Catherine Zeta-Jones back then, maybe. I don't know about now. She's been a little too into Michael Douglas for my taste, if you know what I'm saying. He got throat cancer because of her, according to him, because of oral activities. MBTV, you're awesome, ha ha ha, says April. Yeah, she was a smoke show back then, back in the day. Ain't no doubt about that. Wasn't she also in that movie Entrapment with Sean Connery or somebody? Can't wait to see the new Elvis movie coming out this month. How does that happen? How does what happen? Oh, the throat cancer? I don't know. That's just what he said. I don't think that's the real reason he got throat cancer. That's just what he said. That's what he believes caused it. Was, cunnilingus. He was a cunning linguist, apparently. I don't think that's what caused it, though. I've never heard of that shit before. But according to him, that's what did it. Who has that Elvis role? I can't remember the guy's name. April would know who it is. It's a Canadian kid who won some competition for sounding like Elvis at one point in the past. He was on the news, and now he's in a movie. Mama and me are counting the days about the Elvis movie. Yeah, I kind of want to see it too. Tom Hanks is playing Colonel Parker, though. That's kind of weird. I don't know if that's the right casting. It's a new guy. I don't know his name. Austin Butler, that's his name. I knew April wouldn't know. He's a Canadian kid, and he was on the news because he was singing and sounded like Elvis. So much like him, they couldn't believe it. This was like 10 years ago. And I saw him on like the Today Show or something, whatever it was. And then next thing you know, he's in a movie playing Elvis. So apparently it paid off for him. Although I've heard a couple of clips from trailers, he don't sound like Elvis in this movie to me. He did in that TV show that I saw him in, that news show. He sounded just like Elvis. But from what I heard, On the clip, it didn't sound like Elvis, but that's just a real short clip. I mean, it may have just been out of context. And he may very well nail it. I don't know. I've always thought that actors that play Elvis don't ever get the look right, though. They always cast some skinny guy to play him, and Elvis was not a skinny man. He was very built, very square in his appearance. Kurt Russell did the closest job, I think. But even he was a little stiff. You know what I mean? He didn't quite have the look down, but he got closer than anybody else. And they've had quite a few people play Elvis over the years, and it just never looks right. It takes me out of the image. You know what I mean? Takes me out of the movie. This movie is going to make all the kids appreciate Elvis. I hope so. Diego says, I've been busy. Well, busy's good, Diego. It means you're getting stuff done. Just don't forget about your buddies here on the podcast. Untethered Live misses you. Yeah, Kurt Russell was a great Elvis, but even he was a little stiff, like I said. It didn't quite look right. I mean, you could see where he was acting the part. He's been doing a lot of stuff. Well, fill us in on what that stuff is. I recall growing up in L.A., ironically in the late 60s, watching those Elvis movies and expecting life to be like that. I was shocked to learn he was a singer. Really? My phone fell in water. Uh-oh. Well, I hope it dried out. Those are hard to replace. My phone fell in. I didn't pay the bill. I never bought into those Elvis movies. I never really liked them. And now I know why I didn't like them. And it's because he was basically being forced to make them. He didn't want to be there. And I could feel that, you know. He always seemed aloof to me, like out there. Didn't really care about what he was doing. And the reason is because he wanted to be a real actor. He wanted to make like westerns and real movies and stuff. And Colonel Parker wouldn't let him. He said, if you ain't singing, you ain't making movies. Yes, Andy Kaufman did do a good Elvis. But he never played Elvis in a movie, though. He just did it in his comedy act. If he'd have played Elvis in a movie, he'd have probably pulled it off a lot better than some of the people they had playing him, though. Because I've seen that sketch, and he does quite well. Albeit a little bit silly. He did a serious Western, I remember, and it worked for me as a kid, especially not knowing who he really was. Yeah. Yeah, I wish he had to play the Elvis. I kind of do too. I think it would have been good. I watched Blue Hawaii. He liked some of his movies. Maybe. I know he got tired of it though, because he wanted to like be a real actor. In those movies, you're not really acting. You're really just there. You know what I mean? Just sing a couple songs and somebody will throw a plot in on top of it. They're all cookie cutter movies, like those clam bake movies. They're all the same movie, just with different actors and like generic plot lines. And they were really making those movies to make money. You know, they had like a conveyor belt of movies. They would just cram these movies out fast as you can make them. You know, there's no money in it. There's no real quality to it. It's just a named actor or a named singer and then something about the beach and dancing. And they made a lot of money with those movies, no denying that. But the people involved would have rather been doing other things, I imagine. Yeah, they say he hated doing those movies. I agree. I believe that. Yes, he's a dream. I watch him when I'm feeling down. Well, he's no dream, honey. He was a real man and he lived. There just ain't nobody been like him since or before him. He makes me smile, though he does every woman. He had some trance in women, or he was able to put women in a trance. Yes, that's called charisma, and he had it by the ass loads. And every entertainer since Elvis has tried to be Elvis or wanted to be Elvis, wanted to capture some small piece of what he had. And some of them have little piece of what he had, but he had the whole package. He had it all. And he was a very lucky man for that. Yep, that's it, Jake. I liked Elvis's music too. I must admit, I'd pass by the Beatles if they were playing in my yard. I agree. I don't like the Beatles. I appreciate what they brought to the table. They did change the way music is heard, and they did bring something new into the realm. Hey, Snarkin's ass. But I don't care for the Beatles too much. There's a couple songs they do that are all right, but for the most part, I'm not into it. Good to see you, says April. Much love. Yes, but all time and place. Yo, Snarkin's ass in the house. Yeah, well, it's just like Jimi Hendrix, right? Everybody swears that Jimi Hendrix is the best guitar player that ever lived, but that's not true. He's not even a good guitar player. I'm a better guitar player than Jimi Hendrix would ever dream of being. But at the time, nobody had ever done it like he did it. Nobody had ever made it sound that way. And he brought something new out of music. And for that, I can appreciate what he did. And all the while knowing that he's not a great guitar player. But he did change he changed the history of music and the way people listen to it. He did do that. But as far as skill level, not even close to being the best guitar player. Hell, Roy Clark would have blew him out of the water. And Roy Clark was a fat old man when he got famous. Oh, the 27 Club. Yep. Yep. Yes, with no bad on any of those artists. No, they're not bad. They're just appreciated for different reasons, you know. Like the Beatles. You can't say the Beatles is a good band, but they were unique. Yes, Stevie Ray Vaughan was twice the guitar player that Hendrix would ever want to be. And but Stevie Ray Vaughan was not a versatile guitar player. He played one style and he did it very well. But he couldn't like go play with somebody else and make it work. If it didn't fit that genre, he couldn't play it. His brother, Jimmy Vaughan, is a much more versatile guitar player, but he doesn't have near the charisma that Stevie Ray Vaughan had. Stevie Ray Vaughan could stand out in a crowd, you know, when he played, you listened. That's charisma. That's not necessarily skill. I can say that the Beatles were awesome. Okay. What did he play against? Stevie Ray Vaughan was a guitar player. He played like Pride and Joy and Texas Flood and things like that. And he had a very particular style, and it was good, but it was that style. He couldn't like go play on a country album or a rock and roll album or something like that. Those guitar players are hard to find. Most people that are famous for one particular thing. You know what I mean? And they're not very versatile. They can't really go back and forth. Had a bass player roommate once, garage bands, etc. Casey and the damn tons of talent folk will never see. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of people that are very talented that don't ever make it. As a matter of fact, if you go to Nashville, Tennessee, you can find one on every corner. under a bridge and sitting on somebody's front porch. Best guitar player you've ever heard in your life. Nobody knows who it is because there's 10,000 of them. You know, they're a dime a dozen. And you really got to have something special to stand out. Do y'all watch Professor of Rock channel? I have not watched his channel, but I have run across it a time or two. In other words, I'm familiar with it, but I haven't watched it. Cool. It's great for Gen X nostalgia. What, like Nirvana? That sort of thing? One guitarist doing solo in a bar sees me strolling by and walks out with 100-foot cord to say hi and didn't break a chord. Bar went wild. What an honor, too. Interesting. '70s, '80s, and '90s. Gotcha. I'll remember that forever. Well, it's nice that he touched you. And that's probably why he did it. He wanted to be memorable. I do things like that from time to time when I play live, like get up and dance on the bar, or swing from the rafters, or run out in the parking lot, chase people around, whatever. I bet, man, that sounds like a beautiful memory. If you guys ever have the occasion to come out and watch me play, I'll be sure to do something that'll stick in your mind. Friend of the bassist, just enough to see the marketing and did well. Crowd loved it. Interesting. I play in two bands at the moment. One is basically my band, and one is another. It's a job, you know. I play in a country band and a rock and roll band, and I have to switch up accordingly. You know, when I'm in my rock and roll band, I let my guitar hang a few inches lower, and I let my hair down, and I play heavier. When I play in that country band, it's all country bends and twang. I grew up watching my dad play music. Cool. Your dad was a musician. Interesting. It's so great to have those memories you can go back and cherish and love it. That's amazing, Snarkins ass. No music in our house. Really? That's terrible. I grew up around musicians. Everybody in my family played something. On my dad's side. And on my mom's side, all the kids played something. Or several of us did anyway. But only a couple of us ever achieved any modicum of success at it. One came awful close. It's the best memory of my life when I was singing. Yep, that's the one. You should have kept doing it. I've been faced many, many times with that moment of clarity. Should I keep doing this, or should I go get a real job and make some actual money? The truth is God made me an artist. Who am I to say no? I didn't earn these gifts. I was given them. So I should use them, right? Also, we'll never forget the band putting me on the equalizer in an emergency. 40 seconds and an audience volunteer pushed me off. Ha ha ha. So we're all musicians and singers and actors. My dad really wanted fame, didn't achieve it. I'm sorry. Yes, absolutely. I never really wanted fame. I just wanted people to appreciate what I did. I wanted to be like Jimmy Buffett famous. I never wanted to be big. I can't even imagine that. I wouldn't want to be where I couldn't go to a store or to a mall or to a restaurant. I want to be a big fish in a little pond. That's what I've always wanted to be. Locally famous, but not known to the greater world. Well, there's a reason for everything. I thank God that I'm alive now to talk about it. Amen, sister. Me too. But I am fastly approaching that moment in life where I become a has been, washed up has been. I hadn't made it there yet. I'm still working. I'm still relevant, but I can see it coming round the bend. You know what I mean? I'm not sorry. He couldn't appreciate the adoration of his kids. He didn't deserve anything bigger. Well, I don't know your dad, and I wouldn't presume to make a judgment on that, but you probably know what you're talking about. And I'm sorry that it's that way. I heard that, Jake. Mm-hmm. Yep, it's rolling around the bend pretty fast. Won't be long, and I'll just be an old man. I hear that train coming, rolling around the bend. I ain't seen the sun shining. I don't know when. Well, I'm stuck in Folsom Prison. Time keeps dragging on. Well, I hear that lonesome whistle on down to San Antonio. When I was just a baby, Mama told me, son, always be a good boy, never play with guns. I shot a man in Reno just to watch him die. Well, I hear that lonesome whistle, I hang my head and cry. Should have put my pickup on play with my fingers. Well, when I was just a little boy, I forgot the words. Okay. Well, I thought that railroad train and fancy car was mine. Probably take it all far down the line, far away from Folsom Prison. That's where I want to stay. Well, I hear that lonesome whistle, it blows my blues away. There you go. Songs about the old days. Disagree. One song or cool riff you play could, will, and likely will affect and inspire someone. Well, I know that's true. Mama, you still here? Says April. Darling, 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 darling. Encore. Go down in front. Well, I play to a lot of people still, and I'm not as big as I once was, but I'm still doing it and I'm still making money doing it. And that's all that really matters in the long run. It is my job and I treat it like a job. It's not I'm not a weekend warrior, I'm the real thing. I do this for a living, but it won't be forever. There's going to come a time where I have to get old. I wish I actually remember being 4 years old and singing bad, bad Leroy Brown, baddest man in the whole damn town, meaner than a junkyard dog. Da 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 da. Up on stage at the bar my dad was playing in. Oh, that's a beautiful memory. That's so cool, Snark. Wow. My father was a guitar player, and I never actually got to hear him play. He died when I was about 8 years old, 9 years old. And then many, many, many years later, I had been a professional musician for a while, and my aunt found some cassette tapes that she had made of him playing before I was born. And when she played those tapes, it astonished me because it sounded like I was listening to myself. His style and my style are so close that you wouldn't be able to tell us apart if you were just listening. You would recognize my style in his play. And I never heard him play. It's completely genetic. It just came to me that way. And it blew my mind that we sounded so similar musically. His voice was nothing like mine. I used to be able in bars a lot growing up. I bet that doesn't happen as much these days. That's a fact. My dad only played in the whipping belt. Not that bad. Couldn't resist. That's cool, Snark. You and your dad must have a lot in common. April used to sing in bars for her dad when she was 4 or 5. Or you and April must have a lot in common. My mama took me to the bar. That's how I started my dream. It sounds weird, but there was a good reason, I promise. Well, I vaguely remember being 14 or 15 years old with my little mustache, getting into bars and sitting in with the local musicians. I've been going to bars since I was like 12. I don't drink. I didn't drink back then, not a whole lot. But I loved the bar life. I basically grew up in a bar, grew up on a stage anyway. So I have somewhat of a distorted view of reality because of that, because I grew up in a party lifestyle. That's what I'm used to seeing. So I don't know why it ain't always that way. All that is magical, ladies. My brother and I burned one down when we were 12 years old. Does that count? Are you saying you burnt one down like you caught it on fire, or you burnt one down like you burnt one down? Oh, stuffed leaves down the smoke hole in the roof. We were idiots. Nobody hurt. We got away with it. Lord. Wow. Snarkin says, I'm genetically a rock star. Amen, sister. Me too. I've always said my only problem is I'm not 6 foot tall. If I were 6 foot tall, I'd own the industry. But God made me a shorty. I'm the shortest guy in my band. One of those learning times. Wow. Sirens. Then that slow realization. Wait a minute. Yeah. I've burned a thing or two down in my past. One of which I was guilty of, one of which I was not guilty of. But I took the punishment anyway. I got my ass tore up like I did it, whether I did it or not. Uh-huh. We got the short end, Jake. Arson free. Congratulations. At least one of us didn't burn some shit down. April can't say that. She put a hot curling iron on my leg when I was about 5, 6 years old. Burnt the shit out of me. I still remember it. I might have been older than that. Might have been 7 or 8. I still got the scar too. I love you though. I ain't never held it against you. It was quite the experience though. I had a big old blister on my hip for days and days and days. OMG, says April. You don't remember that? I remember it quite well. It's like it's etched in my mind. I can't stop laughing. It wasn't funny. My idiot friend found this firecracker we threw rocks and turned out to be some kind of mortar shell practice thingy. But still, wow. That's some firecracker. I'm glad that my pain could uh stimulate your laughter, so, or rocket, we thought. That's interesting. Might have been some World War II shit. You're lucky it wasn't a nuclear bomb that you were throwing rocks at. You know, we got one around here somewhere that they dropped out of an airplane during the war, and it lodged in a field somewhere, but nobody quite knows where. And it's still there, and it's still armed, and it's somewhere in this area where I live. But don't nobody know exactly where, you know. But apparently it lodged in the mud and sank. So at some point, a tractor is going to run over it. That'll be that. We all have a lot in common, MTV and Snark. Yep. I recall hearing about that. That's near you, yes. It's right here in North Carolina where I'm at. Feeling better already. Yep, I've heard stories about it, but I've never seen any evidence that it's there, but apparently it is. The laughter is good for the soul, April. I remember the first bottle rocket fight I was in. Terrifying. How did we survive? Bottle rockets? Me and my neighbor used to shoot nails at each other from nail guns and blow darts. You know those things like you get at the ninja store? You got a dart about that long. We used to snip them down till they're about the size of a thumbtack. Tear each other's ass up with them things. Then we graduated to BB gun fights and pellet gun fights. Until I hit him between the eyes with a pellet, then he didn't want to fight anymore. Ignorant. It might have been ignorant, but it was fun. Yeah, nail guns, you brutes. Yep, we sure did. I did that too, says April. Really? I don't remember having a nail gun fight with you. I suppose it's possible, though. We were more into explosive ordnance. I didn't get into a lot of explosives, but we did some crazy things as children. And you're right, Snark and Sass. I don't know how we survived childhood. We used to go out in Florida in the swamp, neck deep in the swamp with nothing on but shorts, no shoes, no pants, no shirt. I don't know how we didn't get eaten by gators or at least have leeches all over us, but never happened. Yes, necessary weeding out process. The weak don't survive. Right. Jumping off roofs. Yep. Must be the fittest. We must. That's not saying a whole lot about this world if that's true. But we must be, because I did some crazy things. I once jumped out of a pine tree about 80 feet up in the air with a water hose tied around my waist because I decided I wanted to bungee jump. It didn't work out so well. I knocked myself out clean. So I come to and shook it off. About 30 minutes later, I climbed back up in that tree and tied about 3 knots in the water hose and jumped again. That didn't work out so well. So I gave up after the 3rd try. Not saying we weren't as dumb, but we learned and go experience. Yes, we did. I saw Jake do it. Yep. I tried jumping off with my umbrella. I've tried that before too. It does not work. I've also tried it with a trash bag, and that don't work either. You really, really do need a full parachute. My sister learned not to approach her brother while he was swinging a 10-foot chain around in a circle. Yeah. I got a bit. I got bit by a horrific purple bee. Wow. A purple bee? I don't know what that could have been. Shows courage, Snark's ass. Yes, it does. And a little stupidity, if I'm honest. All I'm saying is if Darwin's a real thing, he must be shaking his head at people like us. Purple bee. Yes, it took my skin off, Jake, the same day that you fell from the tree. Wow. I didn't know that. I was probably busy licking my own wounds. My brother learned not to try to jump out of his water skis like a professional at 50 miles an hour on a gravel boat ramp. Yeah, that's probably not a good idea. I tried to ski a few times. I never could get up off the ground. Every time the boat would pull me over, but I was rail skinny and wasn't strong enough to hold it, so it would just pull me right on. My legs weren't strong enough. I was probably 10 or 11 years old back then. Do you think we're more ignorant in the South? No, I do not. I think we have an ignorant sounding accent. But I'm from the deep South, and there ain't nothing ignorant about me. I'm genius level on more than one place. I learned not to poke a large jar of gunpowder in my face with a red hot set of tongs. I bet you did. If you did that, I bet you didn't have any eyebrows. That's a yes, Snarkins ass. I meant doing dumb stuff. I don't know. I think that's pretty much universal for people of our generation because we were bored. We didn't have computers. We didn't have the internet or Twitter. So we had to figure out shit to do. Lucky I have a nose. Yes, you are. I never did anything like that. The closest I ever come to that is like messing with M80s and, blowing things up. But I always knew what gunpowder was, so I didn't futz with it. But I grew up around guns, so, I kind of had a healthy respect for gunpowder. That's right, says April. What's amazing to me is how little our kids don't do any of that stuff. Like when my kids were growing up, I'm like, don't y'all want to go outside and, run through the woods? I'm not going out there. Why? It's the woods. Yeah. Go see what's on the other side of them or climb a tree or something. I'm not doing that. Okay. I was ready for anything, says April. My motto, stay humble or the world will teach you to be. Something like that. Amen. Yeah, the world can teach you quite a few lessons. It'll also eat you up, spit you out, and keep on moving if you're not careful because it does not care about you in the slightest. Yes, that's true. All something on a screen. Go have bike demo derbies or something. Right. Go do something dangerous. Go play in the street. Nope. They didn't want to do nothing like that. One of my mottos, ignorance kills, gets learned. Get learned. Gotcha. Well, I have an education from an Ivy League school. And I did some dumb shit when I was a kid, so I don't think that helps. One time we had a carload of girls, me and my buddy. It's the first time we ever had a carload of girls, so we were all excited about it. And I was showing off. So he leans over, he's driving. I'm in the passenger seat, the girls are in the back seat. Why, I don't know, but that's the way it was. He leans over and says, "Hey, Jake, how about check and see if my brake lights are working? We're going like 80 miles an hour down the highway." I climb out the window and slide down the pavement to the back bumper and then climb around the car on the back side and come in the passenger or the driver's side window in the back seat. Holler, "Yeah, they're working fine." Some dumb shit like that. I could have died. We had to get out of the house. Yes. Needless to say, I did get laid that night, so that's a good thing. But that doesn't seem to be a driving factor in this generation. That seemed to be everything when I was a kid. Everything was about getting laid. My first car was a Ford Maverick because I wanted to get laid. Yeah, I stayed out till Mama made us come in. Yep. "Jake, you bad boy." I'm not a bad boy. That's the way the world was when we were growing up. It was all about that. Now it doesn't seem to be. Now it seems to be who wants to play uh, Raid or something like that. Raid Ninjas or whatever that game is on the phone. Candy Crush. No, I'm not out of touch. I guess they're still doing that. It just aren't doing it the way we did it. Different world. Remember the hairstyles? Jesus. I used to, in the 80s, I got into wearing these half shirts. Unbelievably gay looking. Only back then it was a style. Spandex shorts and half shirts. Not a good look. Yep, I remember playing Batman. I never played any other DC character, just Batman. I wasn't even aware of DC at the time. Just Batman. Mm-hmm. The yummy tummy times. There's too much pornography access and disrespect. I agree. Yeah, when I was a kid, pornography was a magazine that was in the woods that was passed down from older boy to younger boy that they got from a homeless man that they had to chase down and do something shady to get. And there was some blurry picture and all the pages were matted together. We were glad to see it. That was pornography when I was a kid, and it was like a Sports Illustrated magazine or something. Wasn't even a good magazine. But you sported the spandex good. I sure did. I wore the hell out of them for a while till I realized that you could see what religion I was. Yeah, one Playboy page soaked by months of rain in an old building might see half of a boob. Yep, you're right. That was pornography when we were kids. Now you turn on your phone and it's like, whoa. We found a guy with a film projector and tins of porn. Crazy. I never had nothing like that. I did have a friend in school that had some pornos at his house that we'd skip school and watch every now and then, but that was in high school. That was long after this period, the magazine in the woods period. But every boy knows what I'm talking about because every boy had a magazine in the woods or something similar. And all the kids in the neighborhood would gravitate to that spot to check that magazine out. It was high prize in those days. I think the world has lost its innocence. I think there's something to be said for making out in the back seat of a car and getting caught and, getting to second base and all the tension and the build up. There's something to be said about that we're missing these days. I remember MVTV. My dad had those, and I found them. LOL. Oh, really? April, says her mother. Yeah, they were in a black trash bag in the bathroom. I found them too. My first naked lady was walking in as an 8-year-old on my teenage cousin just getting into the shower. Epic but scary. Yes, sir. Everybody's dad did it, seemed. Not sure why, but after my dad left, Mom had all his stuff in the carport, even his Playboys, just sitting there. Did you look through them? Don't lie. He did have a bunch of magazines, said Darlene. He did. Yeah, Ma. See? Yep, those were unusual days back then. A lot freer than they are now. A lot of things that would seem wrong now seemed like everyday life back then. Like hitchhiking. Now, that would be called a predator. Then it was called hitchhiking and pressing your luck. You know, you might get in the car with somebody who wants a little action before you get out of the car. I absolutely looked at them. So did all the other neighborhood kids. Amen. We detoured now, but when we finally went into strip show, it seemed absurd. Oh yeah, strip shows. Yep. I went to one strip club when I was about 18, and I was so uncomfortable I never went to another one. I've probably been to 2 in my life. I'm not a big fan. There's something dead about those places. You know, it's not sexual at all. It's very unnerving for me, anyway. Some people dig it. I ain't never got into it. I've still never been to a strip club. You're not missing anything. You'd be better off watching Playboy Channel or something like that. But if you go to a strip club, the first thing you realize is none of those people want to be there. And they all have a grudge against you for being there. They think it's your fault they have to be there. And they take it out on you in ways that are passive aggressive and things like that. They all have this dead look in their faces. I'm sure all places aren't like that, but the places I went to was like that. And it was enough to cure me of it. I never went back. I don't have any desire to go to a strip club. Those greasy guys with their tongues hanging out. Ugh, I was uncomfortable watching Magic Mike too. I didn't watch that all the way through. I saw the beginning of it, but I didn't get to see the whole thing. But I imagine it hits close to home. LOL. I went when my friend got married. That male stripper was cute and all over me. I was blushing. LOL. Yeah. Well, male strip clubs are a little different than female strip clubs. They're a little more festive in the male ones. We had one open here in '90s. Big scandal of sorts. Got to check it out with a group of nurses from work, and we lasted about 20 seconds. They never saw one and wanted to see. Are you talking about a strip club or a peep show? Jen's bachelor party, Mom. Bachelorette party. Yeah, the male strippers seem to have more fun than the female ones do. Strip club dancers. Gotcha. Yes, I remember. Naked ones. Yeah. I don't know what it is, man. There's no life in a strip club. It doesn't feel sexy. It feels grungy, you know? I don't know. I'd probably have more fun at a peep show. At least the performers want to be there or act like they do. I still have that guy's picture. Wow. He must have had a impression on you. I always kind of thought that maybe those high-end sex clubs in like Los Angeles and New York, I always thought they might be more fun to attend because they're more like theater. You know what I mean? The high-end ones, the ones that cost like $1,000 to get in the door. But like a regular old strip club, there's nothing there for me. And of course, I'm not made of money, so I'm not going to ever go to any of those high-end ones. Then I go with a friend on my birthday, order drinks, and can't figure out what's off about our waitress until realizing she had no pants on. True story. Wow. Yeah, I don't want somebody with no pants on serving me food. That just doesn't seem right at all. No, he liked me. I wasn't into him, but you still have his picture. He was way too pushy, huh? But you still have his picture. Years later. I'm just saying. And by the way, he probably liked the fact that you were giving him dollar bills more so than he liked you personally. His job is to make you feel that way so that you give him money. Just saying. I'm not saying he didn't like you. I'm just saying chances are he probably was playing you. That's their job. He gave it to me. Oh, the picture. I was thinking, what did he give you? Huh? In KC, I had to push through a huge group of street hookers when getting off the bus from work at night. All were hilarious and treated me like a mascot. Interesting. The only hookers I've ever seen have been the cracked out kind. I ain't never seen like a pretty woman type hookers. I don't think they really exist. If they do exist, they're called escorts, not hookers. Yuck. Back then, he was so much older than me. Ugh. Well, you've always had a thing for older guys. Maybe not that much older, but I'm the exact opposite. I like women that are young and inexperienced, which is my problem entirely. Nope, not beauties, but make fun of the skinny white boy. All were black, I think. Okay. Like I said, the only hookers I've ever seen were in Florida, and they were geeked out on something, and they're not very attractive at all. Not my idea of a good time. I'm proud to say that I've never paid for it, and I don't intend to start anytime soon. All right, boys and girls, it's been quite an interesting conversation. I have thoroughly enjoyed myself, but it is 15 minutes past the hour, and I got to get up and go to work in the morning. So I'm going to call it a night. I love you guys with all my heart. Thank you so much for being interesting and having a great conversation with me. I've enjoyed it, and I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have. I hope you like the music. I'll see you guys on Sunday. If I can do a little live streaming during the weekend, I will. And maybe I can throw up some images of the show or something. I'll figure out something to do. Anyway, have a great night. Take care of yourselves. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. And if you do, make sure you name it after me. April says I'm different. I liked older guys, but I knew what he wanted and he didn't get it from me. LOL. You go, girl. Virtue is a thing. I love you all so much. Hey, before I go, I almost forgot. Hit that like button and press the subscribe button if you haven't done so already. Hit the bell icon so you get notifications when I'm going to be here. Share this video with your loved ones. Comment down below. Let me know what you're thinking about. Share it with the crowd. It helps the algorithm. And if you like what you hear and you'd like to support the channel, you can do so by going to paypal.me/JakeJohnsonBand. PayPal.me/JakeJohnsonBand. Every little bit helps. It's a blessing for both of us. Don't forget that. All right. Have a great night. Be kind to people around you and watch it change your life. Enough for me. Thanks for your tolerance. May go black next week on a journey to Custer Nat Forest. That's terrifying. Be careful out there. Don't let the bears get you. Snark, thanks for hanging. I'll see you guys soon. Good night, everybody. I love you true. I'm glad everybody's feeling better. And good conversation. Thanks for watching.